Amit, how's it going, man? Been a long time.
Good, big guy. How you been?
Been better. It was
Yeah.
good up until about 20 minutes ago.
Oh, brutal news, man. What's up with that?
Tough
What's up with
news.
that?
I
I
have
think
my
we cursed, man. Did we wrong somebody who cursed us? Because, I mean, how many years running is Leon injured, like just before the playoffs?
yeah, I don't know. I felt so bad I had to put his jersey on right now.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. This is like I mean, I don't think he's been the same since 2022. Brendan and I were chatting this morning actually about the hit, and he's not able to make it today, but
I think he's too
um
devastated. He's just crying in his bed right now.
no, he's probably he's checked out actually. He's after that loss against who
Devastated,
was
eh?
it? Who was a few weeks ago we lost? Who did we lose to? Um,
Oh,
was it
St. Louis
San
had a,
Jose or Anaheim? Remember we were up and then we lost in the last minute.
yeah, and then
In that
St.
game?
Louis pretty much did the same thing, right? In OT.
Yeah, I know, but this is going back when the winnable games that we had. We had San Jose, Anaheim, and we lost all three of those games. So after one of those games, I think it was this San Jose game maybe, where he's just like, screw it, I'm done. I'm not watching no more. Because the next game we ended up winning. So then he's like, forget it, I'm not watching anymore. So he's kind of been like, he's been paying attention, but he's just like, I can't handle this anymore. Which, I mean, we've all been there. So, anyways, we were chatting this morning, and that's one of the things we were talking about was the hits and whatnot. And you know, Brennan brought up a good point. He was saying that he hasn't. I agreed with this. He hasn't really been the same since Mikey Anderson took him out in 2022. And those injuries, um, I feel like you're recovering maybe 90%. You're up, like that's your 100% now, and it's really easy to tweak. I've had a high ankle sprain and stuff. Unless you completely shut down and let it heal, it takes
Yeah.
a really long time. Unless you completely do that, it's just gonna re-aggravate itself.
Well, I'm glad you said that because for all we know, the Oilers are looking at the situation and learning from the past, bringing in Leon maybe a little too fast because he wants to be playing in the playoffs and thinking, you know what, we're going to battle this out. Let this guy sit down. We're also going to get a gauge of all the young players and slot them in a little bit higher and see what they're capable of doing. And when the playoffs start, this guy is ready to go with no like nagging injuries that keeps him from being 100%. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Um, I have like Knobloch the other day mentioned something about the Canucks series. Um, I think it was after game one he got that hit, remember? And then he left and
Yeah.
then he came back or whatever. Apparently he broke some ribs in that series, right?
Yeah.
Every year. So going back to 2022, Mikey Anderson with the slew foot, whatever, sprained his ankle, and he performed pretty decent up until we ran into Colorado, and then just everything fell apart.
Yeah.
Um, I think that was, and then in 23, I can't remember. I don't. We made it to the second round that year. I don't think he got injured, right? Well, he
Oh,
did
did you?
actually. I don't know if he got injured, but he got that two-hander from Peter Angelo. I thought he was
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. The piece of crap guy. I hate that
yeah,
guy.
yeah. He had 4 goals in that first game, and we lost that game. I can't believe it. Um, and then yeah, the nurse got suspended, and they offset those suspensions, and the NHL is just a joke with that stuff. But
Don't even
that's
get me
another.
started. Don't even, I
Yeah.
don't go off rail here, but this whole Matthews thing that just recently happened pisses me off to no end. I hate
Well,
Toronto, man.
apparently, I'm with you. I think it was brutal, but apparently 5 games is the max they can do,
Yeah,
right?
because it was a phone hearing. This guy didn't deserve a phone hearing. He should have been called into the office for an in-person hearing to
Yeah.
explain why he's skating towards one of the league's, it hurts me to say
You know,
this, one of the league's better players with his
it
foot
shouldn't
sticking
it
out like
shouldn't
that.
matter who it is. It shouldn't matter who
It
it is.
shouldn't.
Even
It
if
shouldn't.
even if that is if that's a third line player and he's going after him, the penalty should still be more than 5 games.
I agree, and
You,
it's not the
you got to
first time
take
this
that
has
step
happened
out
with
of the
this
league.
douchebag. He took out Crosby already, right? And now he's doing the exact same kind of plays, like and he's done this throughout his career. I've never liked that guy. I don't care how tough
I
he is and
haven't either,
whatever.
but he's had a suspension-free list or suspension-free record for the last 7 years. That doesn't mean he's not a dirty player just because he hasn't
Well,
been
that's
suspended.
because Peros is in charge. That's why his
Yeah,
buddies
exactly,
get off.
exactly.
Anyway,
But
yeah, but yeah,
yeah, like in 24 and in 25, um, I feel like Leon was limping into the finals, right? And in both situations, it kind of hurt us, right?
yeah, yeah, man. I'm just trying to be optimistic and positive about this whole thing. I do think that with his absence, some of these younger players, I love what Savoy's doing. I know we haven't talked over the last few weeks, different reasons. We've all had some different commitments that have kind of prevented us. I'm glad we were able to kind of make this last minute thing happen here. But I mean, one of the things we were talking before the little break we took was Savoy's play and how he was coming along, and also I mean, Fred, your favorite player on the team, he's actually turned the corner a little bit and he's contributing. I want to see these guys get a few more minutes, man. And I think with Leon's absence, that opens a big opportunity for some of these guys to like, try and pick up the slack a little bit, right?
I was just talking to somebody offline for a minute as well. Just talking about the opportunity, right? So who's gonna, it's gonna be interesting to see whether they can rise up to this challenge. It's definitely a challenge. Power play is gonna see some problems, right? We're gonna see, last game they put Podkolzin in on that slot, thinking probably he's a lefty, he's got a good shot. I feel like the team's gonna have to step up defensively, and I feel like they're gonna have to play better 5-on-5.
Yeah.
In jest, I was joking, but maybe this means McDavid's going to get 150 points.
You never know. Yeah, you never know.
he's got 18. We got 18 games left, I think, or is it 20?
No, 14 games, buddy. We're
14
like,
games. Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 14 games left. So 68. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it's a big challenge.
Well, I mean, when McDavid was out, Dry stepped it up. Remember all the haters calling Draisaitl, merchant of McDavid's charities and this and that, and then McDavid gets hurt and Dry steps up and doubles up on his point production. I think if anybody's capable of doing that, it's McDavid, right?
Well, there's some bright spots. I mean, Szymanski's looked good, and they elevated him to the second line. Yeah. It was interesting what they did. I mean, they kept Savoy up there, which is good. I think he deserved to stay up there. But then they moved Roslovic down with Nugent Hopkins and what's his name, Dickinson, which was an interesting shutdown-ish line, right? I didn't think they would do that. I thought they would keep Roslovic with Draisaitl, right? When Nuge came back, but I mean now it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, do you think Szymanski slots into the second line center spot? Yeah, or do you think they move Roslovic over to the middle?
Yeah, and the other thing is that they will bring some players up from Bakersfield as well, because now we've got massive cap with Leon out. I think they're going to bring a couple of the younger players that are down there, give them a shot too. Why not? You've got a few games to try. I wish we were in a better position in terms of the standings, so we felt more comfortable doing something like that. But the opportunity is definitely there to slot in a couple of these guys in the minors again and see what we have.
I will say though, Szymanski's come up and he's demonstrated pretty decent player there, and it just goes to show. Like, I mean, we were all up in arms when they waived Phelps. And they didn't. Some people were when they didn't pick him back up. They were kind of annoyed with that as well. Clearly shows that we don't see everything. Like we're not privy to what's going on in Bakersfield and what's going on with their prospects, right? But yeah, this might be an opportunity to bring back Hudson. Maybe even I think Howard's doing well down there. Yeah. But you also don't want to. You don't want to ruin the chemistry, right? Like I feel like that first line's going. I feel like you got to keep them together. You know what? Another thought is maybe we've got Nugent Hopkins slots into the center spot and let Szymanski play on the wing. That second unit was playing pretty decent. I think maybe you should slot Nugent Hopkins in and put him with Kapanen and Podkolzin and see what happens, right? Adding Dickinson has been pretty good because that means that you can play Henrique on the wing. Yeah. And I want to mention Frederic. Frederic, especially since the start back up after the Olympics, I think that rest really helped him. I think his ankle's starting to come around better. He's moving around a lot better. And after that hit, which was a clean hit, I don't really fault the guy. To be honest, I mean, he was looking for that hit. When a guy's in there's a clean hit, but like, do you really need to hit a guy? Yeah. When a guy's in a compromising position like that, do you really need to blow him up? Right? Yeah. I don't think so. Just because it's Leon, if it's anybody, I don't really like to see that. But I want to be. Right? I'm sorry to cut you off here, Liam, but I want to be in the Nashville dressing room prior to every game against the Oilers. I wonder what's said in there. I mean, Leon Draisaitl, 28 goals in 20 games. You don't think his name comes up as, hey, you got to look out for this guy. You got to go after him a little bit, make it difficult for him. So I think the players come out programmed targeting a guy like Leon, who's the mayor of Nashville, right? That's just what it is. I think so too. And I mean, special bounties have been known to be put out, right? Unofficially, they talk about that stuff, right? I mean, the NFL got caught with it, so I wouldn't be surprised if the NHL does the same stuff, right?
It's tragic, but unfortunately it happens. And, like you said, it was a clean hit, but it was not a necessary hit. It was an extremely hard hit on a, I'm not saying bubble wrap the league's top players, but the way the guy was throwing his weight around, I know, like they even said during the game, I think it was Stauffer was saying in the intermission, like the guy's trying to make a name for himself. But if you're going to hit somebody like that, then drop the damn gloves. I can't stand guys who don't do that. And he was just baiting player after player into the penalty box because he wouldn't drop the damn gloves, Yeah.
I liked how Wallman just blew him up though. like
Yeah.
just destroyed him. That was nice. Um, you know, I mean, I'm optimistic. You know, I know right when it happened and I sent you the message, I was like, the season's done. I'm not really serious about that. I like to see what happens here. I mean, we've got the team starting to play well.
Yeah.
Defensively, you know, they looked a little bit better, and this is an opportunity for somebody to step up. And you know, minutes are going to get distributed around because there's what 24 minutes that needs to get eaten up here.
Yeah.
Who's going to step up? And it'd be nice. It's going to be nice to see what these guys have, right? Can they
Yeah.
rise up to the challenge, right?
I agree. I really think it was positive for the team, and I don't know what the X-rays and whatnot showed, but I mean, he did come back and he played 2 shifts before he took off again, right? So he was testing it out a little bit, and he seemed like he's okay. But I read his lips on a little bit on the bench when he was talking to the trainer. He, was saying like what hurts, and he's like, no, it's not that, but it's kind of like something seemed like lower body. Not, I know there was a lot of speculation maybe it was he broke a rib or something like that, the way he was slammed against, but it seemed that it was a lower body like a leg. It could be a tweak of the previous injuries, like you said, he never got back to 100%. And I think the
Well,
team is just
last
shut it
year,
off.
right? Last year he was out for a bit with something. We didn't even really know what it was.
Right.
And then even earlier this year, he's left the ice a couple times. There was a couple games that he just left and he came back. And I'm sure it's a tweak. It's got to be. I mean, there's that high ankle sprain. It could be a thigh injury. It could be a few other things. Like if you look at the way that he went in, it could even have been an 8. Just the way that it's an awkward shift, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the one shift that I saw him take, and then he was skating around a little bit. He didn't look completely off, but obviously he didn't feel right. So
yeah, and then he took off. So I mean,
and,
as far as I don't know, like I like looking at some of the injuries he's had, lower body. I think it was his left leg, if I remember correctly, the one that Mikey Anderson, slew-footed
yeah, I
him,
think it
and
was the
that's
left
the one he
one.
injured.
Yeah.
I think that's the same nagging one that keeps coming back. I feel that this time around, that's what he's injured again, and the team is very cautious. They're like, you know what, we got to rest that because it's going to come back. The playoffs is going to be tough, obviously, and there's no point going into the playoffs
Yeah,
with an injured Draisaitl.
if it is an ankle sprain, the biggest issue that I think for skating is your arch sort of caves, and when you re-aggravate it, it's a lot easier to re-aggravate because of that, and then it takes a lot of time for you to build that back up. And I mean, the last couple seasons we haven't really had a long off season, right? Who knows if it's the ankle, but if it is, I mean, it kind of makes sense, and it's something that you personally, even though they said he's out for the season, knowing this guy, I'm thinking he'll be back like on Sunday or Saturday whenever we tap or something. He'll be like, screw you, I'm playing. So unless they absolutely ruled him out, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I was trying to think what advantages would it serve the team to come out and say that he's gone for the rest of the season, at least, like I think someone reports it up to 1 month, right? I don't see any advantage at this point. I mean, there's cap wise, we are really pushed against the cap. Everybody knows that we have a little bit of space, but outside of bringing in players from the minors, maybe assigning Jari to the minors, and bringing up Picard, maybe that's one of the things they could do, and it gives them some flexibility for at least the rest of the season. They can try out some of these different things to see what their team is going into the first round. And I don't think the first round is going to be an easy one. Right now, the way they're slotted, it's going to be the Dallas, or if they go any higher in terms of the standings, it's or fall in the standings, it'll be Colorado. Excuse me. So unless they're tops in the Pacific, they will draw somebody that's a little bit palatable, I guess. It doesn't look good in the first round. You're going either Colorado or Dallas right now, the way it sits.
On that note, I think the NHL seriously has to take a look at these the points, the way they work out. I'm just looking at it this year. I don't know if this has worked out in our advantage before or whatever, but just looking at it from this season, Vegas has like 6 less wins than Anaheim, and they're like a point up on it. They really got to do something with this loser point stuff. Either just have ties and like they used to back in the day, or get rid of the loser point, or maybe go to a 3-2-1 system. Yeah, because time and time again, like they've got 31 wins. They're 31-36 or something, and they're leading the division, right? And like, how many more wins does everybody else have them, right? Yeah. It's annoying.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think even some of the players have been complaining about that for some time. But the loser points, Gary Bettman's baby, and I don't think he's gonna let that go. Speaking of Gary, I mean, it's on a day where we're talking about doom and gloom. I mean, it's a big positive that Edmonton Calgary are getting the 2028 World Cup happening in Alberta. So that's a good thing.
This year's World Juniors as well. right?
That's right. Yeah.
And I mean, Calgary's going to have that stadium, I think, by then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I drive by it. They're still plucking away.
Yeah. Are you excited that you? Well, I mean, you're in Calgary anyways, but the entire province gets to pay for it now, right? Danielle Smith, back when Edmonton needed it, her tune was a lot different. I mean, she must be a Flame fan.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, the Flames also did get like a much higher, from the province, they got a much bigger chunk of money to build that stadium, and they gave Edmonton a really hard time, if you remember. And then the
That's what
Oilers
I'm
made a
saying.
fuss about
That's
that.
exactly what I'm talking about. They're giving them
Yeah,
350 million or something like that now
that's right.
to kind of make it so for Ice District. I think it was last year.
That's right.
They gave Edmonton 106 million finally after all that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's some, it's not fair. I think, I mean, I don't want to get into the politics of things, but I think Calgary desperately needed it. And I do feel that the team was at one point, I mean, you can never really tell, but it seemed like it was a serious consideration of taking the Flames out of Calgary, which I don't want to see happen as much as we hate them. I want to see the Flames in Alberta and Canada, but that was a serious threat, I think, and they kind of caved in a little bit there. But I think make it equal, give Edmonton something now, right?
Yeah, I mean they gave him less than half. But
Yeah.
you bring up that the Calgary potentially leaving the city. Do you think if they left the city, Brett Warner and those guys would still be talking about the Oilers on their podcast?
Hey, it's comedy relief for me, man. I mean, when you go there, it's a reflection of the Flames fans. You know what? I'll be honest with you, man. I laugh as much as I laugh at some of the stuff that they put out. There's a part of me that really feels sorry for them because it reminds me of the decade of darkness for the Oilers fans when we went through exactly what they were like. Just lick your chops at some of these other teams, like performing amazing, and you can't do anything about it.
We weren't sitting there and talking about the other teams though
No,
all the time, right? We're
no,
still talking
no, we
about
weren't doing that.
our own team. I just find it hilarious. Like every
It is funny.
morning, I'll see some video and they'll be making fun of something. Like they were making fun of Jari the other day.
Yep.
You know, just
okay.
like, well, it's okay, I guess. We'll take the airtime, but like, how about you talk about your own team, right?
Yeah, it's easier to take from a bunch of guys who are at the bottom of the basement and they're just they're wholesaling their team just to pick up as many picks as they can. And I think their future looks good down the road, but they're still like definitely 3 to 4 years away before being even super competitive because they've traded most of their team away right now. Some good young players there, but yeah, they're looking up at Edmonton. And I think it's just envy. They look at the Oilers and how they've gone to the finals last couple of years within a goal of winning it all, and they kind of measure their team on how far they are and how they're owned by the Oilers over the years now. Yeah, sure, it's a little painful. I hated the Canucks that way when they cycled the puck in our zone for like hours on end with the Sedins, and there was nothing anybody could do, and they just owned us.
Well,
right.
Like I said, you lived here, but you didn't say it wasn't all about the Canucks and hating on the Canucks.
That's true.
Just like
That's
it is.
true.
You lived here too. So
the thing
anyways.
is, though, I have to add, there are a lot of Oiler fans in Calgary. People are walking around with their Oiler jerseys around. I think it's in their face all the time, right? It's one thing that, yeah, they're everything else we mentioned before. It's another when you see all these Oiler fans decked out throughout the city, and I think it bothers them. And
I think that's the way it is in every city, actually. I mean, even if you go to Vancouver, there's a ton of Oiler fans. Even in Toronto, there's quite a bit of Oiler fans in Toronto. And I don't know about Winnipeg, but I think that all of those cities, Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto, they absolutely despise the fact that there's Oiler fans because there's so many of them, right? It's interesting.
We've been lucky, man. We've been lucky. We had Gretz, we had Messier, we had Curry, throughout the years. We had Dougie Waite, who I love. We had Billy Guerin, who I really love, even though he's with the enemy now. And now we get Draisaitl and we get McDavid. And it's like, and you look at these other franchises like the Canucks and the Flames. And I mean, the Flames had some really good players. The best the Canucks have ever done is the Sedin twins, man. I mean, outside of that,
no, man,
or somebody,
the Canucks completely decimated their roster the last couple of years. I thought that roster was shaping up to be a pretty good roster. You had Bo Horvat down the middle. You had JT Miller and you had Elias Peterson. You've got Quinn Hughes on the back end. Demko's a great goalie. They had Markstrom before Demko, right? And then the Seelovs guy was working out. I don't know what they decided to do. They just blew it all up and just went sideways.
You always have to wonder, Aline, when a team lets go of somebody like Rutherford, right? And he's been there for an eternity, and all of a sudden he makes trades. And I vaguely remember even before he was let go, he made a trade where he didn't remember the details of it. There's a reason why a team lets somebody like that go, and then Vancouver's right on him right away, and you grab somebody like that. What do you think is going to happen if the guy's making poor decisions in a different team, just like what the Oilers did? If a guy's making poor decisions in Boston, you bring him in and you give him the keys to, you give him keys to McDavid.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there because
but it bothers me. Like
Bob Nicholson's forensic audit
this
Oh my God.
fraternity of GMs, there's got to be more people qualified. Look at example of Mikey Greer. Love the guy as an Oiler. He's in San Jose making really astute moves, and the team is looking great. They landed the Celebrini, who I really love that kid, man. That guy is amazing. I think he's going to be a generational talent too, the way he's playing right now. But why can't you bring in players like that? Why bring in players, former players who are really smart into GM positions that can make good decisions rather these connections these old GMs have, and they destroy teams.
Well, that's one of the reasons why Steos left Edmonton, right? Because they were going to stay, right? Steos left, Forkoff is gone. Oilers had an opportunity to bring in this Bill Zito guy. He took Florida's job. He was in the running for Edmonton, right? They gave it to Holland.
Amazing. He's done amazing.
He's done all right. He's done all right. Yeah. I mean, I agree to a certain extent. I mean, the Chiarelli move was just awful. We ended up having to give up draft picks as well for that. He was fired, but because he was still under contract, we wanted him. Just stupid. But we're getting off track here. Let's veer back to this news here with Draisaitl. We've got San Jose tonight, Florida on Thursday, and Tampa on Saturday.
Yeah.
3 big games. 2 games should be definitely winnable. San Jose's been playing well, but I think we've got, I don't know, we definitely got our work cut out for us, but I think we can win 2 of these 3.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think we're going to be able to do it? What do you think we're going to see tonight?
Fast-paced games. San Jose is playing that way. They're not a super defensive team. They play a balanced game. I think it's going to be good. I think the Oilers will be concerned about shutting down Celebrini. Mind you, man, the guy is 19 years old. He's 50 points ahead of the next guy on the team. So you got to take him seriously. It's not a fluke. He doesn't have line mates that are even close to what he's producing. So that's the guy you got to keep an eye on. And I think if the Oilers, with their recent defensive play, which has improved a lot with Murphy, the guy I think in the past shows I've actually mentioned how the Oilers desperately need a guy like Smith, a Jason Smith kind of a player. He's maybe not as rough, tough, but he definitely plays a stay-at-home kind of a style, and that's kind of balanced out the team's defensive end. I can't take credit away from Ingram. He's made some saves when they need to be made, unlike Jari. So I think if we hold our end at the defensive end, we'll find the offense. I think we'll find the offense.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I don't obviously losing Draisaitl's huge, but we're sleeping on, I think, the depth of this team, and we're going to hopefully see if they can rise to the challenge. I do think that, again, out of the break, we've seen the depth guys carry the team a little bit.
Yeah.
You're going to see a possessed McDavid, which is not a good thing for opposition, right? We'll see what happens. I mean, I think we'll go 2-1 in this mini homestand here. I think we've got, I can't remember the next game after that. I think it's the following Tuesday. I think it's on the road though. It's Anaheim is here.
Yeah.
Anaheim is here, so it's not Anaheim. 24th is our next game after that.
Right.
It's Mammoth. I always get those 2 teams mixed up.
Utah,
the Phoenix
Coyotes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're ahead of us in the points department.
Yep.
So it's a big week coming up. I mean, so this week, I just mentioned we have San Jose, Florida, Tampa at home. And then the following week, we've got, sorry, what is it again? I lost it now. Hang on, where are we at here? So tonight, let's see. And now it's deciding to go. Yeah, so I think we've got Utah. And then I think we have, man, can you pull the schedule up?
Sure, yeah.
I got it. So so after Tampa, we're going to Utah, then we're going to Vegas,
right.
And then we're at home to Anaheim. So, I mean, the next 6 games, pretty big games. We can either create some distance, or we're going to be out of it. So let's see what happens.
It's it's not going to be easy. I don't see any. Looking down the stretch here, none of the games coming up until the end of the season is really going to be like gimmies. Like, I don't even think of Vancouver's a gimme, but that's as easy of a game as you're going to get, and that's the only one we have toward like the last game of the season. So it's going to be tough. But these guys need to, like you said, they need to kind of pick it up a little bit, split the 23 minutes Draisaitl had. I think Roslovic will probably get a little bit more time because he is, somewhat of a shooter, and that's what Dre is. Although Dre's game is obviously a lot more complete, but I I'd love to see Russell get a few more minutes. Maybe obviously he's going to be on the power play more between him and Podkolzin, which I really like seeing. Why not give the kid a shot there? But it's something that the team is going to run out with, and this will show what their depth is, like you said. And I can't wait to see it. I want to see what happens over the next couple of weeks here. And if Drake comes in just before the playoffs or first game of the playoffs, then imagine the boost that gives the team, right?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I guess. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't really want to do any predictions and stuff, but what I do think we're going to see is a lot more concerted defensive effort. I mean, this team has demonstrated that they can shut things down and they can play properly. I'm expecting to see that tonight.
Yep, and the Sharks thing, Aleem. I mean, we have 2 games I think left with the Sharks tonight, and then we have another one down. Those are massive 4 points because that's a team that's really chasing you. So you want to bring out your A game against a team that's right behind you, chasing you for that spot or to knock you out into the the wild card spot. You should bring your A game against these guys. So.
Well, I mean, they didn't last time, so they better this time.
Yeah,
and we'll see what they're made of. We've got a few swing games, right? We've got San Jose tonight. Next week, Utah. That's a swing game, and Vegas is in the middle of the week. I think it's Thursday next week as well, right?
Yeah.
A few of them coming up, big ones that we have circled. Obviously, Florida, Tampa's are important games as well, but they're not in the conference. So yeah, let's see. I mean, I got to run, so let's sign off real quick. Any parting thoughts?
No, man, I'm glad we did this. I hope Brandon feels a little bit better, and we have him here next week. But exciting times. I think the Oiler fans should just be positive about this whole thing. I know Dre's a big part of the team, but I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay too. Hopefully, let's see what happens, and yeah, let's try to get back on track and get back here next week, and yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks again for showing up today. We'll sign off, and then we'll hopefully we have a good stretch. We'll have 3 games under our belt by next week. Hopefully we'll have a good stretch.
Sounds good. Take care, buddy.